Hi, everybody. It's May 18th, 2026, and today we're going to answer the question, should you buy a home in Michigan in 2026? My answer is going to be a definitive yes, but for reasons that you need to know, and we're going to go through all of it now. So let's start and break right into it. Also, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy the information. And again, if you want to work with me, click the link in the description below, and we will get you started. So again, Michigan housing market sparks as a rare bipartisan push and backlash takes place. State Representative Joe R. Aragona, Republican Clinton Township, said he believes the legislature will be able to find an overall solution to market housing and more affordable Michigan by the end of the term. So again, when we look deeper into this, Michigan lawmakers debate zoning reforms, tax credits, and other ideas to grow Michigan housing. Bipartisan disagreement has stalled prior legislative efforts despite growing needs. Now the divide is more complex, with state and local leaders agreeing on need but disagreeing on how to address it. So in Lansing, lawmakers have lots of ideas to solve Michigan's affordable housing crisis, but with rising prices keeping homeownership unattainable for many, officials have so far been unable to agree on any concrete policy reforms. That's been partly due to the lack of bipartisan cooperation between Democrats and Republicans in the past years, according to state housing officials. But with Michigan facing an estimated deficit of 119,000 homes, there is an emerging hope that lawmakers will be able to work together to spur up new construction. One potential point of compromise is a bipartisan package that would reform zoning laws and allow more homes to be built on the same parcel of land. Backers say it would eliminate hurdles that have made it too hard for developers to make affordable housing projects profitable. There's people on both sides of the aisle that are against it. There's people that are on both sides of the aisle that are for it. State Representative Joe Aragona, a Clinton Township Republican and a leading voice in reform effort, told Bridge, Michigan this week as the House committee began reconsideration. The legislation has some high-profile backers. Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Republican House Speaker Matt Hall are generally supportive, but local government groups oppose the state overriding their local zoning rule. Senate Majority Leader Winnie Brinks, the Democrat from Grand Rapids, has not publicly endorsed the legislation and did not respond to requests for comments this week. This is a weird issue because it's not a partisan issue. Representative Samantha Steckloff, Democrat from Farmington Hills, told Bridge on Thursday, "This is literally local government people fighting against people who have never served in local government." That's interesting. Steckloff, Democrat State Senator Sue Shink, and Republican State Representative Jamie Green gathered with a group of roughly 24 local officials on Thursday to voice opposition to the zoning bills, arguing they were crafted without any real input from communities they would impact the most. If the latest wrinkle in a debate over housing policy, which has been a focus of several lawmakers this term, but without much to show for it so far. Until we're ready to be civil with each other, I don't think anything is going to happen, said Green, adding that it was on lawmakers to take outside influence of this and actually get down to what is actually best for the residents of Michigan. We forget that sometimes in Lansing. So the advocates, the time is now. The housing market appears to be cooling, but Michigan home prices are still climbing at 4.2% over the past year to a median price of $263,590, according to Zillow, the online real estate company. That's less than the national average of about $400,000. But Michigan's median home price income of $72,875 a year is also less than the national average of $83,730 a year, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, which this week estimated the state added about 22,500 housing units last year and now has a total of 4.7 million units. This year alone, lawmakers have proposed several plans that they could contend to help address Michigan's housing crisis, including bills to repeal certain real estate and property taxes, update the state's mobile home codes, and introducing a state-level tax credit to make building easier. State Representative Rochelle Smith, Republican from Shelbyville, has even argued that allowing longer campground stays in areas of need would help solve the housing problem in the state. I don't really know about that. So some related articles where Petoskey struggles as home prices hit $1 million. Michigan lawmakers fix zoning laws to grow housing and fact check our regulations to blame for rising Michigan housing costs. None of those have advanced beyond the committee level in the policy divided Michigan legislature, which is off to another historically slow start. Still, housing advocates are optimistic this could be the year. Not only in Michigan and in Lansing, but even nationally, bipartisan groups of lawmakers are coming together on housing reforms, said Chris Potterpin, chair of the Michigan Housing Council. That really sets the stage for somebody to politically get something meaningful done now, more than we've ever had before. The zoning reform package gaining momentum in Lansing is not entirely new. A version backed by Democrats stalled in 2024. This time around, some Republicans are on board, and Whitmer backed it in her state of the state address, calling on lawmakers to improve zoning and building codes in order to build more homes quicker at lower cost. If lawmakers don't act, housing will continue to become more expensive and less attainable, sponsoring State Representative Christian Grant, Democrat from Grand Rapids, said this Thursday in a committee testimony. Grant, who was part of the 2024 housing push as well, said the new bills are very intentional about key issues that they hone in on, such as minimum lot size requirements and allowing for accessory dwelling units, otherwise known as mother and state laws. If enacted, as currently written, the bill package would ban minimum lot of sizes of more than 1,500 square feet for a detached single-family home, so long as the lot can be hooked up to the public water and sewer systems. Allow duplexes in any district in which a single-family residence is permitted. The subject duplexes to the same permitting procedures as single-family home construction. Prohibit local zoning ordinances that require a minimum area requirement of greater than 500 square feet for a home. Bar zoning ordinances from excluding mobile homes in residential zones and allow the building of accessory dwelling units, and it will limit signature requirements for some protest petitions submitted in opposition to proposed zoning ordinance amendments. Local government groups remain strongly opposed. The legislation would impose a one-size-fits-all for everywhere in the state for Michigan that is impacted by this, said Dan Gilmerton, Executive Director and CEO of Michigan Municipal League. These are mandates, period, plain and simple. Farmington Mayor Joe LaRussa said he personally invited Grant to his community to ask what they were getting wrong about housing and how zoning reform would improve things. He alleged she couldn't answer. Hall, the Republican State House Speaker, said this week he generally supports the package but is opposed to some elements. We're going to get rid of the part about they can just build these trailer parks wherever they want. They never made any sense, Richland Township Hall said to reporters. So when we're talking about property tax cuts, housing tax credits, and other ideas, Hall remains focused on reducing property taxes, which he has argued could positively impact the housing market. Among other cases, he wants to scrap what he calls the pop-up tax, a sudden increase in property tax that occurs when a home is sold as the tax value uncaps and resets to 50% of the market value, and a move, he says, could encourage older Michiganders to downsize, making their larger homes available for middle-income families looking to upsize. So again, that's good for younger couples. Hall has pitched a complicated plan to abolish Michigan's state educational tax, the real estate transfer tax, and the pop-up tax, and personal property taxes, a potential $5 billion cut for homeowners. He would largely offset by extending the state's 6% sales tax to certain services such as newspaper publishing, the performing arts, skiing, golf, and country club memberships. Brings, the Democrat Senate Majority Leader, has panned Hall's plan. Whitmer has proposed a smaller property tax break for seniors. Whitmer has also backed a push to create a state-level housing tax credit that would pair with an existing federal program to draw more development dollars to the state for home building. Irrigona and Grant have introduced bipartisan legislation to make this happen. Michigan is the only state in the Great Lakes region without a state-level credit and could join 30 other states within one, said Michigan Housing Council Chair Chris Potterpin. It's estimated the effort would cost the state around $42 million, which Potterpin said wouldn't hit the state budget until 2030 by design, calling it the most efficient program for building and preserving affordable housing the state has seen in a long time. The bill has the support of Michigan State Housing Development Authority and have received a hearing but not a vote as of mid-April, meaning in the Democratic-led Senate, lawmakers are taking bipartisan approach to reforming the state's mobile home laws, expanding the rights of tenants at mobile home parks while placing new requirements on park owners and the state regarding maintaining maintenance and inspection. Michigan is home to roughly 1,200 licensed manufactured housing communities in more than 140,000 manufactured homes, recording the 13th in the 13th most in the nation. More than 25% of the homes are owned by private equity firms, according to data. That's very interesting. From the nonprofit watchdog organization Private Equity Stakeholder Project. For too long, the laws governing these communities have not kept up with the realities residents face on the ground, from water shutoffs and rising rents to their entire community being sold out from underneath them, said Senator John Cherry, a Democrat from Flint, said in the statement this week. The six-bill package unanimously advanced out of the Senate Housing and Human Services Committee on Tuesday, but awaits a full Senate vote. So essentially what this entire article really means is that they're trying to make it easier for homeowners to actually get a home. They're trying to find ways to cut the spending so that way these housing prices can actually reasonably come down, right? And that's ultimately the goal. That's ultimately what you're seeing be done, and that is one of the main objectives of at least Michigan's current, political games. Mortgage and refinance interest rates today, May 18th, 2026. Will rates rise or fall this week? Mortgage rates on all types of loans have been the rise since last Monday, according to the Zillow lender marketplace. Since last week, the 30-year conforming and fixed rate is up 16 basis points to 6.41%. The 20-year fixed is up 12 basis points to 6.07%. And the 15th-year fixed is up 14 basis points up to 5.8%. And the 5-to-1 arm is up 22 basis points to 6.63%. So ultimately, and again, this calculator kind of allows you to do what you got to do and look for these current mortgage rates and kind of, just type in your zip code, put in so I just put in a zip code for Oxford. Let's say your property value is $450,000. Loan amounts $360,000. That leaves you with a 20% down payment. Let's just say you're getting a 30-year fixed term mortgage. Let's say you got a 780 plus credit score. This is pretty much what you're dealing with for the entire monthly payment, right? So the prices are pretty high, but at the same time, what you have to think about is that here in Michigan, you actually have some pretty good living. And at the same time, all of these prices are going to be going down very shortly. So that's one of the most important things people aren't really talking about and why it is kind of essential to be able to notice this, okay? So again, right now, the Michigan housing market, the average price of a home is $263,590. The average Michigan home value is up 4.2% over the past year, and homes go pending in around about 14 days. Commercial real estate sometimes goes anywhere from 45 to 60 days, kind of depends, right? What is the Zillow Home Values Index? Zillow Home Value Index, built from the ground up by measuring monthly changes in property level estimates, captures both the level and home values across a wide variety of geographies and housing types. So Michigan key takeaways: typical home values at $263,000 and $263,590, and the 1 year value change is 4.2%. When we're kind of looking at this chart, you can kind of see where things are going and where that market's trending. Okay, but again, with a lot of this Iran war and some of the things happening with the Michigan Senate and all of this, they are trying to reduce these prices somewhat for new, younger investors. So that's pretty good. And then at the end of the day, we'll just look through some listings. Again, we're looking at Michigan real estate. You have a lot of different options. Last time we looked a little bit in the LP, but if you look in the UP, we got a lot of different options up here as well. Okay, I usually work more in the thumb of Michigan, usually work more in that area, right? Metro Detroit. I like to work in Lapeer County, Oatland County, but hey, we can have some fun and look in the UP as well. So again, we got a lot of luxury real estate. Solar panels up here, 65315 Mile Road Point in Allouez, Michigan. And again, that's 1.197 mil. We have 236 Wildwood Drive in Iron River. That's running for $829,900. But again, these are just a couple nice properties you can find in the UP. Okay, so if you have some big money or new money, old money, whatever you'd like to call it, you can always consider living in the UP and getting away from the world. And that's kind of what Pure Michigan's all about, right? A lot of people are moving up to Michigan because they want that secluded lifestyle. So I wanted to make sure we actually covered some of these, some of these properties that you might actually like if you're talking about really getting away from society a little bit. And at the same time, we'll look at LP, the Lower Peninsula of Michigan, and we'll be able to cover some of those new listings as well. But I just wanted to cover the UP real quick and show you kind of what we're looking at. So again, lots of new properties, lots of land, lots of fresh lakes, and that's what you're getting when you live in Michigan. Got good hunting, got good fishing. Nice. Maybe some black bear every now and then. You get a little bit of everything in Michigan. You get all 4 seasons. That's kind of why a lot of people like to live in Michigan and move up here, right? Sometimes they want a winter home. Sometimes they want a summer home. Kind of depends on where you're looking. But at the end of the day, this is pretty much your Upper Peninsula real estate and what they're offering for that. Okay? So again, as we go back to the Lower Peninsula and we look at what's available, let's go into Metro Detroit and kind of look at what all of the real estate that's available here. This is the big market that everybody's talking about. This is where everybody's kind of looking, right? So for example, pretty decent property right here, $875,000, 29128 Jefferson Avenue in St. Clair Shores, Michigan. So again, when we look at these properties, you can see just a few of them here. But again, a lot of these are new homes, new construction, new builds. A lot of these are new renovations and, just brand new. A lot of good information you can get out of that, okay? And a lot of new real estate that's coming up. And so Michigan's kind of the place to be. A lot of people are moving up here because, again, they want to get away, but also they want to live in a place that actually has 4 seasons, okay? And that's something we actually have. You get to enjoy a little bit of every single season. We had one of our first 80-degree days just yesterday. It was a beautiful day here in Michigan, at least in the eastern Michigan where I live, Lapeer County. And so, again, if you're looking to invest in real estate, this isn't the worst place to do it. And that's kind of what we're talking about. So is Michigan a good place to buy a home in 2026? I would say yes. And one, it's always a good time to buy real estate. Don't let anybody tell you that it's not, because everybody always wants to wait for the prices to go down, and they want to wait for the rates to go down. And honestly, that's not really the best alternative, right? So yesterday, I'd actually assisted my mentor, and we had worked a little bit in. He is selling this property. His name's Paul McCallich, and $1.09 million. The address here is 1700 Washington Road, Rochester, Michigan. But again, very nice property. When I went out there, it was very beautiful. It's in Rochester, and you got a nice secluded space, got a nice area, and ultimately, it's very nice. Okay, you got nice land. A lot of people just want the land. A lot of people are very interested in the land. Again, do a walkthrough. Schedule a walkthrough. Contact me, and I'll put you in contact with the agents that I'm working with, and we will help you acquire this property. Beautiful property, 1.099 mil, 5 beds, 5 baths, 6,046 square feet. A lot of renovations are already done. And again, it is kind of secluded. When you drive in, you actually get a little bit of some privacy. You get some trees that are blocking, your view. So you actually get a lot of nice land, get a lot of nice wildlife when you're looking out the window from the living room here. And again, you put some binoculars out, you actually be able to see what's out there. It's very nice. And so I recommend people take a look at it, right? This is what a lot of people are getting excited about today. Okay, so this is more of the dining room area or living room area. When you look at all of this, we got a lot of potential. So this is why people are moving to Michigan in 2026. So should you move into Michigan? Yes, absolutely. What's nice about this office here is that you actually get a view on everybody who's pulling up, so you know exactly who's coming in, coming out. But again, this is what my mentor, who I've been working with a little bit, this is kind of what the property actually looks like. Again, you can always take out the taxidermy if that's something you're not interested in as a buyer. But ultimately, pretty nice. Everything's already done. Looks like somebody burst strategied this, and it's beautiful. And at the end of the day, it has nice hardwood floors, has nice amenities, washers, dryers, nice bathroom, beautiful basement here, ping pong table, treadmill, everything you possibly need. Little game room there. So this is kind of the life, if you ask me. Got a nice wind-up stairway. Ultimately, I think this is why we have like 6 cash buyers, 6 cash offers on this home right now. And so a lot of people are very interested in this property. So again, this property is 1.09 mil. And if you want to get in contact with us, eXp Realty, then be sure to click the link in the description below or just comment deals, and we can get you started with this entire process. And I'll help you get that through. So again, we have a 3D home model too, and that's kind of nice. So we'll look at that a little bit. So again, this is kind of the tour. So when you walk into the home, this is obviously the front door you'll be walking through, and this leads right into, it's very open, right? So this, you go into the foyer here. This takes you right into the living room and gives you kind of access to that great room, right? That main great room. You got your massage chairs here. Nice. It's a nice little setup. You got your taxidermy. Again, if you like that, great. If you don't like it, get rid of it, you know? But this is kind of the walkthrough if you're going to look through the property. Very nice. Again, take a look at that view here if you can. But very nice. Again, schedule an open house. You know, these open houses are open. And again, our agents are always working on this stuff. Okay? Contact Paul and he'll be able to help you even more. But ultimately, this is what you need to be looking at. This is the kitchen. Very clean. Kitchen goes directly to the mid room over here. The mud room, you can call it. Have their little dog slot dip. Then again, if you're interested in the garage, this is what the garage looks like. Okay, so a lot of space. A lot you can put in here. Probably fit like 3 or 4 cars in here. All right? Go out to the front yard. And this is pretty much what you're looking at. So again, you have some nice privacy with these trees around the home. That's kind of what I like about it. And I think that's pretty neat. Okay, so again, that comes right in here. But again, we'll go back inside to the foyer and we'll kind of look into the basement. I guess we don't have access to the basement in this. But again, this all kind of leads you to the same places. So that's really what we're looking at. 1700 Washington Road, Paul Mikalovich. Be sure to contact him, and he will fill you in on everything you need to know. Birmingham Realty, that's, again, he's my mentor, and that's where we're kind of working together. Contact information right here. Contact him, and you'll be able to get yourself an open house and schedule that up and chat with him. He's a great realtor. He's very experienced. He knows what he's doing, and very smart guy. So be sure to work with him. Again, this has 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 4 full bathrooms, and has a lower family living room, dimensions 31 by 14. Has a game room, bedroom. Again, has another bedroom, great room, kitchen, some more bedrooms, 5 bedrooms. And then primary bathroom has forced air and natural gas. Cooling is central air. And essentially the appliances include the dishwasher, disposal, dryer, washer, and then laundry room. So again, that's kind of what comes with the estate. Features, you have your Energy Star qualified windows, partially finished walkout access. You have fireplace included. You have pretty much everything you could ever ask for in a nice property, right? Okay, so again, total parking spaces, so 2.5 it says, but you know, with the outdoor parking, you got a lot more space there too. 7 acres, again, features hilly ravine, irregular lot, splits available, wooded floor, absolutely very nice. Barn, second garage, stables. Again, you got your parcel number listed here. Features quad level, ground level, patio porch and deck. Exterior features a gutter guard system also that comes with it. The construction is a single-family residential. Architectural style is contemporary, split level. Property subtype is a single-family residence. And again, construction, it is not new construction. It was built in 1968. And the major remodel year was just this year in 2026. So you got fresh renovations to this entire property here if you're interested in that. Roof is asphalt. Foundation is basement, block, and then the aluminum siding, of course. Utilities and green energy, we have circuit breakers, septic tanks on this property. You got a well. It does not have HOA, and the region is in Rochester Hills. So again, it's $182 per square foot. Total assessed value is $296,020. Annual tax amount is $8,884. Its date on market was 5/3/2026. But again, you got to call them now, guys. It is competitive because there's already been like 6 cash buyers, and it could have been more by the time I had left yesterday. But I went to this listing to kind of see what was up, and I was very interested to see what was going on, right? So your buyability payment kind of tells you this: $7,006 a month. If you're looking at the principal and interest, $5,413. Property taxes around $1,227, and your home insurance would be $366. So again, if you put it down, and that's if you put a down payment of $219,800 and $720 and above credit score. Okay, so a lot of people are interested in this property, and again, the rent's estimate, if you're to rent it out, $5,310 a month. Maybe you can host some, luxurious clients there. And that's kind of what we're looking at here. Estimated sales range will be from 1.01 mil to 1.11 mil. So again, that's kind of what we're looking at. Neighborhood zip code is 48306. Kind of what it looks like from a Google satellite view. You can see you do have neighbors, but again, you're blocked off by some trees and you actually have privacy. And the driveway goes all the way out here to Washington Road. So it's very nice when you actually look at the maps and look at and just see what you're kind of looking at. So you have quick access to the town and Rochester Hills, and it's a nice place to live. So ultimately, give me a call or email brendan.ecker@exprealty if you are interested in this property, and I will connect you. Or you could just contact Paul Mikalovich directly at 248-935-2754 with Birmingham Realty. And hopefully this deal isn't gone by the time you call him. Because, again, a lot of people like this property. I'm saying right now, there's already been a lot of cash buyers for this. So, again, give him a call or leave a comment in the description. Or, again, just DM me, email me, whatever you need to do. So, again, we got some other nice properties here. $1.2 million in Nepavine Drive, Novi. Again, we look at some of these. These are pretty nice. Again, I'm a big fan of luxury real estate myself. That's why I like to look at a lot of this. Ultimately, I like to focus on residential because that's where a lot of people are looking, ultimately. And at the same time, I kind of have a thing for luxury real estate. I have like a deep connection to it. Very nice. And I do think we need to build castles again. I say this in every real estate episode, but we need to have castles again in this country. Personally, if you ask me. Okay, lots of nice properties. 1.09 mil, 1920 Venesta Court in Rochester. Again, that's 1.09 mil. Got a nice staircase here. Again, if you're interested in any of these properties, be sure to DM me, leave a comment, or you can email brendan.ecker@exprealty.com, or you can visit brendaneckerrealty.com, and we'll be able to connect you. Okay, whether you're investing in single-family residential, that's, again, more my area of focus, luxury real estate, or if you're looking for another market, you want to look for commercial real estate, we can help you out there as well. We do have great experts in eXp Realty that can help you with that, and I can work with you and hold your hand through the process. That's kind of what it's all about, right? But again, some of these properties are just exquisite, beautiful, and you should be thinking about investing in all of it, okay? At the same time, you have properties like 2846 Duana Drive in Milford, $1.1 million, and also a nice property. And so this is where people are really looking. These are the top, most popular properties people want to see. This has only been on Zillow 5 days. Beautiful, fully renovated, already done, nice office space for you. You got everything you need. Nice closets, nice amenities, accommodations. You got an in-ground pool, a sauna, nice living space, wrap-around kitchen, pool tables. You got it all. Okay. $1 million properties. You have those on 5300 Old Mill Road in Rochester. So Rochester's like where it's at. A lot of people are hanging out in the Metro Detroit areas. A lot of people are hanging out in Grosse Pointe Shores, St. Clair Shores. They want Birmingham, West Bloomfield. This is what I'm really seeing a lot of. Okay, so if you're looking to invest in real estate, talk to me, Brendan Ecker. You can email me at brendan.ecker@exprealty.com, and we'll help you find that next property. Beautiful. So we're looking at all of this, and ultimately, this is what's impressing a lot of people. Again, this is 5140 Turtle Point Drive, some hyper-luxury real estate here. And this property is selling for $7.985 million. So when you look at this property, you're kind of looking at a pretty decent deal at the end of the day. Okay, so the family room, this is your 3D kind of walkthrough, kind of what you're getting when you see that. Open kitchen, Got nice raised ceilings here. Love that. Nice bedrooms, all of it. A lot of people are interested in this property. So again, when we look at the actual 3D home and all of that, if it loads, see if it loads. Okay, it's not loading, so I'm just gonna like not go there. So we've looked at some of these luxury properties, and again, okay, so you have to think about your mortgage payment, and you have to think about what you're gonna get out of Michigan real estate. You have to always know ahead of time. So just as an example, I already put the numbers in. Let's just say the home price is $270,000. Down payment $27,000 at 10%. You got a 30-year loan term at, again, we want their interest rates right about where they're hanging out right now, 6.08%. And so really your breakdown is your P&I, you'd be paying like $2,000 or total for P&I, taxes, and your PMI is pretty much going to be $2,087 a month. All right. And so that's, again, these are your assumptions for all of this. But that's what you need to pay attention to. And you got to know what's happening in the markets, right? So again, let's take a watch of this quick video and just see what these guys had to say. $5,000 to $50,000 turn small bids into big wins in Michigan.
State that we recommend is Michigan. And so we're giving you this with enough time in advance so you can get this on your radar, you can start to plan, and you can start to prepare. So they do happen annually between July and November. So it's May 5th right now. You've got some time to get into the mix. Now, this is something very interesting about Michigan, is that last year we were talking about Michigan, and people would write in and they would say, hey, I was bidding and everything was too competitive and stuff sold, well, like beyond market value, or we weren't able to get deals, right? And so they check out. And so being in this space now for well over a decade, we're able to kind of see the cycles from beginning to end, and then see opportunities that someone else may have missed on. And so one of the interesting things about Michigan is that there are often, every year it attracts people who don't have experience in the space. And
Absolutely.
what happens is, sometimes people think that they may be eligible for funding, or they get into a bidding war and bid beyond what they actually even have.
Yeah, I see this a lot.
They're potentially, bidding with capital that isn't secured. Maybe a friend said, hey, I'll go in splits with you and I can give you $20,000, or like a family member, but they don't actually have the money within their possession. Then something changes and they're not actually able to complete the transaction. And so we see this all of the time at tax sales, and specifically in Michigan. And so let me show you this because it's quite fascinating.
Yeah, and I do.
So this is tax
So this guy's totally right, and I do see this all the time with new Michigan home buyers. Make sure that you have good funding, and I know it's tough today in 2026. It's a very competitive market. We're not going to pretend that the Iran war and all this stuff isn't impacting the markets, but at the end of the day, we do have a market where you have the access to Michigan real estate. Okay, you got to think about all of the good things about Michigan real estate, which is having 4 seasons. You have nice weather here. At the end of the day, you have pretty good people here. You have everything you could really want in Michigan, and that's why you want to live here.
.info. And what happens is they begin July. And so I'll show you last year, and we can kind of look at the chain of events here. So if we go to 2025, and the very first run at this, so it looks like last year it started August 1st. The very first run, what they're trying to do is recoup the tax dollars. They're trying to get the tax payments back with interest and penalties. And so that's what the opening bid is. It's the back taxes, interest, penalties, lawyer fees, title searches, things like that. So that's what they're trying to do. Now, if it doesn't sell at this auction, because sometimes properties are underwater, maybe something is worth $5,000, the opening bid is $5,000, there's just no equity there. And if those properties don't sell, then they will come back later. But at the same time, what we mentioned earlier was about people not being able to fulfill their obligation to pay for something that they win, or somebody not reading the rules well and not being able to pay. That property will show up as sold here at the first auction, but then it may come back at the very end, which we see this all of the time.
Especially in Metro Detroit. Happens a lot.
First go-arounds. This is the first time it goes to auction. And then from there, there's a second auction, which happens September 26th. And so at this reoffer, this is where you'll see it come back again at a lower price. Now, this is what's trippy, is that then after that, they have a no reserve, which is $100. And so we've seen properties sell previously, then they come back at the no reserve auction because somebody didn't actually fulfill and pay for the property. And so someone may be at a previous auction here, say it's all too competitive. They'll see what stuff gets bid up for, or they just picked a particularly competitive county and then not actually come back at the end.
All right, I hope
Very
you enjoyed
interesting.
today's video, and I have a free gift
So
for
yeah,
you
when
for
you look at all
watching
of that,
a free.
you have to really consider what the markets are telling us. And at the end of the day, you have to realize that when it comes to Michigan real estate, these are the things that you got to be careful of, right? So again, if you want to work with me, be sure to visit BrendanEckerRealty.com. Kind of a quick way to access me. Again, I work with eXp Realty in Metamora, Michigan, Birmingham. And again, we work on luxury real estate. We focus on luxury real estate. I mean, we can work with every kind of client, I guess, but I specifically focus on luxury real estate. I like to focus on working with commercial investors and luxury real estate, but really luxury real estate is kind of what we're working on in Michigan. Okay, so you can always book a private consultation with me. You can fill out the contact form here, and I will get that email, or you can schedule a Zoom call with me, and we'll talk. We'll talk about your situation. We'll talk about what's going on in your real estate life and how we can make that and how we can accommodate you, right? We have our Ecker Real Estate Market Insights, where I talk about some of the things that I see happening in the Michigan real estate market. We have testimonials from some of the clients that I've helped work over the past couple years, and bonus real estate resources. Again, we have Gold Shark Media AI for fellow realtors like myself. If you need to manage your business all in one place, then pretty nice. You can always do that. That'll get you access to that 7-day free trial. Again, goldsharkmedia.com. Kind of what I meant to bring up earlier. But again, this is nice because you're getting an entire place to run your business in one place. So again, if you're a real estate agent like myself or any kind of service business owner, work with me and work with Gold Shark Media. You can run your entire run your entire business from one place, right? And then if you want to become a real estate agent, then I also recommend you to visit passreusa.com. 1,300 real estate practice questions, ebooks, lesson chapters, interactive videos, and PDFs for maximum value. Again, this is for all future real estate agents who are looking to, again, get exposure to the market, and they want to pass that state licensing exam. This is really what this is for, okay? It is primed specifically to help you pass that state exam. A lot of people get stopped at the state exam. They make it through the 40-hour course, but they can never get through that state licensing exam. I help you do that with this online course. These are just a few different realtors that I've helped across the country do it, and ultimately, a lot of people are liking it. We're going to be adding to it very soon, but this is what people are really interested in, and this is what you should be interested in. If you want to become a real estate agent, you want to make more money, then again, work with us, okay? For $99, you enroll, and then you basically get the entire online course, and you never have to pay for it again, right? It's a one-and-done deal. You pay for it once, you have it forever. And then you got access to 1,300 practice questions. Okay, that's a lot of practice questions to study for your state exam. Okay, so again, work with me at BrendanEckerRealty.com. Book a private consultation. We'll talk about it. I work with mostly buyers, luxury real estate, single-family residential. Okay, purchasing a home is more than a transaction. It's a lifestyle investment. At Brendan Ecker Realty with eXp Realty, we combine data-driven market insights, local expertise, and a commitment to excellence and help you find the perfect property. Whether you're a first-time buyer seeking confidence, a family looking to upgrade, or a luxury investor searching for exclusivity, we tailor our approach to your goals. What sets us apart is the in-depth knowledge of Michigan's most prestigious markets like Birmingham, Bloomfield Hills, Ann Arbor, Grosse Pointe, Rochester, Hills, and, of course, and beyond. Access to exclusive off-market and luxury listings, negotiation strategies designed to secure the best price and terms, step-by-step guidance through financing, contracts, inspections, and closing. Okay, so again, the buying process is simplified with us, consultation and goals. You get financial preparation, personalized home search. We'll do all of that for you, make sure we're getting you the best bang for your buck. Expert negotiation, smooth closings, all of it's pretty nice. And again, all you got to do is book a private consultation with me. These are just some of the areas on this page that you can see we work in. Really Birmingham and Bloomfield Hills, Shelby Township, Washington Township, Romeo and Macomb County in general, suburban life in affluent communities, and then Rochester Hills, Oxford and Lake Orion, Oakland County, upscale communities perfect for families seeking excellent schools. And then, of course, we have smaller towns, right? And this is more actually where I'm located out of, Elmont, Metamora, Dryden, and Lapeer County, some of the Michigan's most admired markets in Michigan's suburban and rural small towns. And then we have Ann Arbor, Washtenaw County, a lot of different places that I have experience kind of working in. Grosse Pointe in Wayne County, lakefront luxury with timeless prestige. We got all of it. Okay, so I've also built an exclusive Michigan home buyers guide here, so be sure to grab that when you get a chance. And to end this stream, I will just end it with my own quote. Though wars are draped in banners of religion, politics, or commerce, their true religion lies in humanity's relentless pursuit of land. Land as the vessel of independence, the sanctuary for one's craft, the cradle of family, and the inheritance of future generations. In this, we find not conflict, but the essence of the American dream, through freedom in the soil, and to pass it forward to the most enduring legacy. This is the quintessential truth of owning land, the true American dream. And again, I like to end this live stream with that quote. So, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to work with me, BrendanAckerRealty.com. If you're interested in real estate, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you are interested in work with me, click the link in the description below. And again, smash that like button, and we will continue making more daily real estate content as much as we can. And we'll keep up on the Michigan real estate markets, and I will be your Michigan real estate agent. Without further ado, stay prudent, stay powerful, and stay wealthy. Pure Michigan.